There's many valid reasons to not like Ruben Sim, but I think that this is one of those stretches. I think seeing 18 plus in her Roblox bio prompted Fangman to report her because a lot of ERP accounts put that in their bio so other ERPers can identify them. Yeah, this is really feeling like bad faith. Like if somebody has 18 plus in their account, like what are you supposed to think?
What?
Also, this doesn't seem like an age. This seems like 18 plus. This is like, there's a difference between saying I'm 18 and putting 18 plus. It's never been, I've never once in my life seen it be used in a context that does not promote interagency of other NSFW creators or, you know, potential audience members. I don't know. Oh shit, GoneFishinq made a video on Ruben. I'm interested in seeing this.
Let's see what's on.
It's got a lot of intro.
Okay, enough of that. Let's just get this over with. Okay, so this video is about Ruben Sim. Yeah, I know. Okay, sorry. I've been playing this for a number of weeks now because of a series of unfortunate events that has transpired. And yeah, we're just gonna get like through this as quickly as possible so you can just go on with your day. I don't even want to like ask people to like, hey, please like and subscribe. You know, I don't expect you to.
Yeah, this is his content.
If you want, but like, before I get into this, of course, it wouldn't be a GoneFishinq video without the channel members, so shout out to them. Len47, Expo, Reigns Feature, Double Tap Jeff, Rusty Dusty, Crownkeeper, Banjo Fox, Geostat, Bucketman, Lunacy Flare, Nectarine, Ryan Odyssey, Asterake, Science Group, I Like Big Buff Men, Dido, Astral, I Lorak, Crossy, Muffins Extra, Zornikins, Asher Crown, Puppy Guppy, Race 207, Hot Soup, Gigglebug, Enlight, Al420, Zombie Teeth, Noise, Voluption, Blackout the World, Roboxis, Jonah, No Worries Here, Leshy, 6543DA, Destruct, numbers $2.
Stop!
But I understand if you don't want to, I understand this, honestly.
Okay.
Let's fucking do this. Let's get this. Ben Simon, aka Ruben Sim, 26-year-old Roblox content creator who...
Okay, so one thing I dislike about this off the bat is that he comes out with the 26-year-old, like this guy's a fucking loser. Like what a lamester. What a lame guy. What a loser of a guy. Like that's, even if he didn't mean it that way, like I feel like that's really the heavy insinuation. Like you could be 50 years old and if you're making banger videos, I could give two shits. It could be on Coco Melon. I don't care. Like I think that somebody's quality of their content should speak more to, you know, how they are than their age making the content. But that's just me. Whatever. It was just a weird sneak diss and like I feel like it'd be really petty to address it, but whatever.
Love him or hate him is pretty contentious and popular. Now I'm gonna be real with you here for a second and say that I am like a decent fan of his. At least I was when I was getting into YouTube. While I enjoyed his videos, there's definitely a side of Mr. Ben Simon here that he does not put into his content. And that could be for a number of reasons, because he knows that it's gonna get him flack, because he knows that it will drive off, you know, more viewers, whatever the reason may be. He doesn't put it in his videos. This video strives to not only do that so that people are aware of what he thinks and does as a person, but also to defend myself and my girlfriend. It's gonna be a big hoopla. A lot of stuff to go through.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna be as charitable as I can when it comes to the stuff that Ruben has said.
Okay. Charitable. Thank you for the $1 donation, Chemical. Thank you very much. But charitable, alright? So when he says charitable, he means I'm gonna take whatever Ruben Sim says and interpret it in the best faith. I'm gonna think about it like, you know, I'm not gonna, if somebody says, oh, excuse me, after they cut you in line or something, you could either be like, that guy's a passive-aggressive dickhead, or you could be like, hey, you know, they're sorry. That's what they mean by that. So, charitability, that's a key factor to keep in mind for this video, and I hope that we do see a lot of charitability.
And really just come at this from the perspective of maybe he doesn't really know. Maybe let's just give him the benefit of the doubt, you know,
Yes, benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm trying to say.
maybe he doesn't know any better. Maybe he needs someone to, you know, tell him or point out that things like this are wrong.
This may be the first law to protect children from furries. A furry con in Florida had to ban minors because of this. So, prohibiting a governmental entity from issuing a permit or otherwise authorizing a person to conduct a performance in violation of specified provisions, providing criminal penalties, authorizing division of hotels and restaurants, Department of Business, and professional regulations to fine, suspend, or revoke the something of any public lodging establishment or public food service establishment established admits a child to a live performance. Something, guilty, live performance, adult live performance. So, this is Ruben Sim saying that he's happy about kids being banned from adult live performances, which is probably referring to drag shows, strip clubs, stuff like that. And it may extend to furry cons depending on the behavior that they exhibit. I know there's one furry con that was like really notorious, that they were like shitting in diapers and procreating publicly and leaving the diapers in public and trashing the place and pissing everywhere. I'm not saying this is all furries, okay? I'm not. But I'm saying that when we're taking things like this and we say we're gonna be good faith, and then we turn around and show a law that seems pretty reasonable, where he's now saying this is bad, that seems like a pretty bad faith interpretation. Like, sure, we could be like, oh, they're gonna arbitrarily enforce the laws against people that they don't like. Sure, that's an argument, but that's not what you're saying. You're taking literally what he says and calling it bad, and viewers are gonna run with that. That's, yeah.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. All in all, if you've watched a recent video that I did number of weeks
Rainforest, that was
ago,
it.
where I talked about the current situation with Ruben and TSC. It was following that video that, Ruben in private would say things like, oh, it's a pretty decent video.
Bro called Ruben a right-leaning Roblox YouTuber, the shit ain't Twitter, Lamau. Aside from that, it was a pretty decent video. Okay,
taking offense at the fact that I called him right-leaning, which, oh, sorry, King. What would you rather say I refer to you by? I mean, that was a pretty charitable thing of me, so I'm not gonna walk that back. I think that's just really silly that you would get like offended at that. But he would then go on to message me on Twitter with one of the most peculiar messages I have ever received. Not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but I think your GF might be a little too invested in the furry drama. Apparently, this has been going on since last year, and he attaches a video, he attaches an image of just a screenshot of my girlfriend just saying the word Ruben 52 times in my server. And that just was really shocking to me, because like, you went in on an alt in my server to see if...
Is there any evidence that he was actually on an alt? I mean, I know like Ruben Sim ran Mod for Dummies. He got hundreds of DMs every day. He gets hundreds of DMs. Like, do we know that he actually went out of his way on an alt, or did somebody just hit him up like, hey, GoneFishinq's girlfriend is talking a lot about you, something like that? Like, maybe it just made him uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm not feeling the charitability right now. Like, I don't have a stake in the fight. I think both of them are decent content creators, but I'm just very confused about this.
People were talking about you, and then you messaged me about it. I don't know what point he was trying to get across here, so I just...
Was he uncomfortable? Was that a point that he could have maybe tried to convey? Like, who else is he supposed to talk about it to? Like, should he just be uncomfortable in his own head, or maybe he should try like civilly reaching out and being like, hey, somebody told me this thing, it makes me uncomfortable. Can we stop? I don't know.
Just left him on red. I mean, like, what am I gonna say to that? Like, oh, wow, that's so crazy.
She must be a big fan.
Wow, I'll take care of this immediately. Like, no, who cares? I think maybe he was trying to go for some, like, hypocrisy, quote-unquote, thing of, like, oh, well, you say you don't want to do furry drama anymore, but your girlfriend talks about this. Yeah, we're different people. Then he does this, and this is going to be the main thing that Well, this is the main thing that sparked this video in the first place. From his now, well, currently suspended Mods for Dummies account, in a thread of files that he was dumping to, you know, I guess attemptively try and get them taken down from Roblox, he says, users trading NSFW content, quote unquote. And the first fucking example, and the only one that is not only provided as a Roblox profile, but as a Twitter profile, is my girlfriend.
Sharing SFW account to size. I cannot believe. Sorry, Ruben. Forgive me, Your Highness. Also, so when they say that he drew torture, P-word, of a 12-year-old, I think he was like 15, and he drew like this crude image in MS Paint because he was beefing them. It was like, it wasn't like a fully fleshed, I don't know, it's like the equivalent of I drew stick figures doing shit. So whenever people like, there's many valid reasons to not like Ruben Sim, but I think that this is one of those stretches. I don't know.
What did he mean by this? What did he mean by this? What did you mean by this?
Okay, so hi, so a little editor's note with this part here. I spoke to Ruben Sim earlier in the week, and I am just gonna go over that right now because this section, it would be a lot, I assumed that it was him that made it, and that made the commentary here a lot different, so I'm just gonna go over it like this. So I just sent him a DM asking what did he mean, and he says, oh, I wouldn't know, like I didn't make the post or whatever, so I asked him who did, he sent me who made the post, then that person in my DMs like, you know, okay, Tobias said this, that, or the other.
Sorry on mobile, pressed by accident. Want to apologize about posting a Twitter account of your girlfriend, moderation for dummies. A lot of requests come through every day when I was just saying Twitter account that posts NSFW in general. No show protocol. I posted misinformed, do some research before we posted. Honestly, more pissed at the person that decided to blah blah blah. I think anything sexual automatically makes it bad regardless of context. That's questionable. That's questionable. If you are on a primarily like kids platform and you're doing something sexual, and like you gotta face it, Roblox is primarily a kids platform. Or if you have a big intermixing of the kids and adults part of your audience on the same account, and you promote something NSFW, I think the regardless of context part there right here kind of needs to go, because there's a that bit of context kind of changes things significantly. Like I'm not going to use my Roblox account that's filled by mostly kids on Twitter, like mine personally, to promote anything NSFW with any ties to me whatsoever, because that right there is just, it's there. Like a kid could just click it, and what is there ID verification? Like are we double checking, or it's just logistically it's a big problem, and I think that people should probably be avoiding it.
And Ruben was helpful and attached a image of what the report for, you know, Tyler's profile ended up looking like, and
What was the image? I can't. We're skipping through everything. I think seeing 18 plus in her Roblox bio prompted Feynman to report her because a lot of ERP accounts put that in their bio so other ERPers can identify them. Yeah, this is really feeling like bad faith. Like if somebody has 18 plus in their account, like what are you supposed to think?
Of what the report for, you know, Tyler's profile ended up looking like, and I want to zoom in on this because I think it's kind of important and indicative of a larger problem, so please humor me here. So what you'll see here is you have a user that comes in and just posts Tyler's profile stating no more context than just 18 plus artist. They're kind of going off of this preconceived notion that like anything NSFW is bad, and it's like
on Roblox, yes, it's not really a preconceived notion. It's if you're making NSFW on Roblox or with heavy ties to Roblox. Also, this doesn't seem like an age. This seems like 18 plus. This is like, there's a difference between saying I'm 18 and putting 18 plus. It's never been, I've never once in my life seen it be used in a context that does not promote interagency of other NSFW creators or, you know, potential audience members. I don't know.
You know, the work of the devil or whatever, so regardless of context, it needs to be taken down, right? And that's the thing that I absolutely disagree with, without a shadow of a doubt. People, I think, need to stop being really fucking immature when it comes to shit like this. Tyler is an adult who has a locked NSFW account. She only lets adults onto it, and people need to stop being so immature about it. She doesn't do it on Roblox. It's not advertised on Roblox.
Is it not? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I think, you know, that profile, Tyler's profile, had, like, the bypassed word in there.
And if I'm remembering correctly, we went through the Twitter account, saw some suggested stuff, and then we looked at the Roblox account and saw the tags listed like 18 plus, bypassed word of I believe.
Which is just completely wrong. You can even see in the screenshot, that's just not a thing that exists there. But then he goes on and he says, oh, well, then we went to her profile and we saw suggestive art and we were like, well, you know, seems good. And then we just added it to the thing. And, I'm just saying, Ruben, I know you were not directly responsible for this, but, like, this is your account, and not only is it your account, but it's your community. I get that you apologize and everything here, but, like, you guys gotta be a little bit more responsible when it comes to, like, the information that you report on, because this was just so blatantly wrong, and it crumbles the second that anybody goes, wait, what do you mean by that? Maybe take a little bit more time before you go and spread harmful misinformation about somebody to your audience in an attempt to get their account terminated from Roblox for no good reason.
So, yeah. That was ridiculous of him. Let's be charitable here. Maybe he just didn't know what the f he was talking about. Which brings me to the next part of this, a segment titled Maybe He Just Doesn't Know What the F He's Talking About.
If you're a homeowner in Georgia and you're still paying for electricity, then you could be missing out on free government assistance.
I don't care about homeowners in Georgia. What the fuck?
Now, I know when people criticize him, he likes to, you know, get into a lot of, like, hypotheticals of, like, oh, wow, I said this.
Admit it, you should make tweets, but what about when Ruben tweeted
one thing
that-
like a million years ago, and now you're gonna bring it up? I think people can grow, and I think people can change it, especially over a wide period of time, like, you know, years. I think there's definitely room for improvement. So just for the sake of Ruben's feelings, I will only be focusing on things that not only are recent, but things that I captured myself.
Okay, once again, the charitability here is not there because he's saying he's going to focus on things that are recent, but then he posted something from, what was it, 2013 or something, when Ruben was 15 and this girl was 13, whatever, when Ruben drew that crude art? I don't know. This doesn't feel charitable.
Also, you know, encouraged me to make this video because I just don't know if, like, you don't know, like, what you're talking about, or, like, you're spreading misinformation intentionally. Let's go with a recent tweet that he made, a tweet that is now deleted along with his other ones from that era of a week and a half ago, where he praises Florida Senate Bill 1438, giving a flowering praise of it, saying that it's the first bill to protect children from furries. Which is a kind of lie by omission, and what I mean by that is, like, yeah, I guess it is, but it's not like it was a bill targeting furries. It was a bill targeting the rights of LGBTQ business owners.
This gets into a weird, politically foggy area because I don't know where like somebody's right to expose a child to stuff that's NSFW begins and where the child's right to not be exposed to that stuff ends. I don't know. I think that's I from my understanding, I could be super duper wrong. From my understanding, that bill was like specifically targeted towards things that were like considered to be inappropriate displays, which I think that like kids shouldn't be in Hooters personally. People like to bring that up, like, oh, conservatives are all over, you know, Hooters, where I'm not conservative, but I think that they shouldn't be in Hooters. I also think that they shouldn't be in any event where things are getting sexual. I just think that, you know, let the kids be kids. Now, I do think that, you know, it's not a terrible thing if a kid goes to a drag show and they're dressed up appropriately and not being inappropriate or anything, but I think this is specific to, like, inappropriate displays in public that children are present for. Once again, no. Could be wrong.
A bill that grants state agencies the power to target LGBTQ-friendly businesses by giving the Department of Business and Professional Regulation discretionary authority to fine, revoke liquor licenses, and even shut down establishments.
Is this what the bill says, or is this the ACLU's interpretation of it? This is like a very very biased interpretation of what this is. Why don't we use like the objective language from the bill itself instead of taking like the first Google result from ACLU, which is literally this is like if I'm gonna take NRA statistics for gun laws, you know?
The Protection of Children Act would allow state officials to revoke licenses of offending businesses. As News 6's Brian Didlake explains, the bill is already impacting LGBTQ+ communities.
And now we are seeing the effects of the passage of Senate Bill 1438. Down at Port St. Lucie, the Pride Alliance of the Treasure Coast canceled their gay pride parade.
That's what that law is. That's not even like a subtle thing. You can just, you could do the littlest amount of research. You could have just looked up the law and you would have found that.
Live adult performances, once again, are we gonna say that adult performances are performances where adults are performing, or performances geared towards adult themes? Like, once again, let's clarify things a little bit. I know you have like limited time to make videos and stuff, but the charitability here, this is an overarching theme. The charitability here is not what it should be. I think I'm kind of bamboozled because I don't think that GoneFishinq is like a dumb guy or anything. Much like he thinks, or he says he thinks that Ruben Sim isn't a dumb guy, but if we're gonna say that we're gonna treat somebody's words charitably or look at things charitably, maybe we look at things in the context of why they were passed, not secondhand conjecture about how they hate LGBTQ people.
But in case you don't know, now you know. So maybe don't give flowering praise of that as an adult to your audience of teenagers who are more likely gonna just kind of take that at face value and not be super like critical about it because their favorite YouTuber Ruben Sim said it. So, you know, maybe do a little bit more research on things before you post about them. Doesn't end there though. How about this tweet here? Another deleted banger. I wonder why he deleted this one.
So it looks like Ruben Sim deleted his tweet about Matt Walsh. As you can see though, I do have it in my history here so you can prove that it's real. You can see he says, "Who is Matt Walsh and why do Redditors think I'm a fan of him?"
Who is Matt Walsh and why do Redditors think that I'm a fan of him? Now let's take this as not what it actually is, which is a flippant question meant to deflect criticism, and let's take it as a genuine, serious inquiry.
There's a charitability.
Let's take it as a serious.
Hell yeah.
We're being charitable as right now. Okay. Because
Yes.
it's very obvious this was not meant to be like a serious question. It was.
Well, now
just
it's not
supposed
being
to, like,
charitable,
deflect
but
criticism.
you know, whatever.
But let's take this in the way that nobody would. Let's take it as an honest question of him asking, why do people think he's a fan of Matt Walsh? Benny, my boy, let me tell you right now, it's because everything that you say, do online, on Twitter, the people you interact with, the circle you're in, the people you follow, the tweets you like, the things you post, is all aligned with the same worldview as someone like Matt Walsh. It doesn't even go back to you liked a Matt Walsh tweet once, because I'm not even gonna be like that.
Pursued this goal, blah blah blah, grotesque conspiracy about grooming and pedophilia.
You know, philosophical with it. I don't think you need to get down to the bare bones to see that, you know, you and someone like Matt Walsh are not entirely dissimilar.
Not to harp on it or anything, but speaking of people who've never been told no, you know, furry, that's another example of what happens when you've got someone their whole life, like no one has ever sat them down and said, no, stop this is insane, what the hell is wrong with you? No one's ever said that, and so now these are adults running around in furry costumes doing God knows what.
Yeah, I wonder why people would think that you're a Matt Walsh fan. I can't put my finger on it.
Pretty much.
If you agree with somebody on like a issue or two, I don't know that inherently makes you a fan of them. I'm not a big H3H3 guy, but I agree with a lot of things that he says, but I'm not a fan of him, if that makes sense. But like, once again, there's a lot of, it feels like a lot of bad faith conflation of separate issues that are all being lumped into one to kind of portray Ruben Sim as this hyper alt-right extremist that just wants to exterminate all those who stand against him.
Swap out all of Ruben's rhetoric. Anytime that he says furry, just swap it out for trans person, and you can see exactly.
So if we do this, first of all, most terrible Faith thing to say ever. If we do this, are we gonna talk about Ruben Sim's like furry members of his server and his furry shit, I'll pull it up. Are we gonna talk about Ruben Sim's I got one of his viewers right here. If you're a furry, don't donate to the $10 plus tier of my Patreon. If you do, I'll be forced to include your PFP at the end of my videos. A travesty beyond human comprehension. So, this is an old friend of mine who's a furry. I hate him because he's a furry, grr. And I can give two fucks. But like, he's on Ruben Sim's videos. And so yeah, if you swap out furry for trans and be like, if you're trans, don't donate or else I'll include your PFP at the end of my videos. Like, is he really meaning that he hates furry people and trans people, or perhaps I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm trying to make this make sense, because like this is a single instance, and there's plenty of others where people like call out Ruben like, hey, well you still have furry followers, you have furry mutuals on Twitter, like why are you still following them? And he's like, because they're my friend. Like, I think you have to see past a certain layer of irony to understand that maybe he does not, in fact, hate every furry. And I'm sure he would never outward admit that, but I think actions speak a lot louder than words. And when he's putting consciously a furry protogen in his videos, that probably speaks on, speaks on behalf of what he actually feels, not his inflammatory tweets. Yeah, they're inflammatory.
What I mean.
This is a thought experiment. Do not fake messages like this. This was done to prove a point.
You know, your rhetoric of trying...
It's such a weird thought experiment to do. Like, why don't we do a good faith... I wish somebody came out and actually did a good faith, like, addressing of the things that they disagree with about Ruben Sim, because it makes it really hard to give his critiques the time of day, when most of the things coming for him are like, we're gonna take something that could be considered bad, and instead of digging into it, we're gonna spin it into something that it's not, and then address that. It's like straw manning what he actually thinks. It's not conducive to actually producing some type of productive what's the word about this? Productive discourse about these issues, which are all important and they're very valid concerns, but when you spin them into things that they're not, it makes me think that maybe there's something more than the reasons that were being presented in this video for the making of this video, and why things were presented the way that they were.
And to portray all furries as, predators is pretty similar to the things that, people say on the Daily Wire about LGBTQ people, this, that, and the other. Very, very old talking points that go...
Yeah, but can we flip that and be like, the same thing that Daily Wire says about LGBTQ people is the same thing that a lot of leftist activists on Twitter are saying about right-leaning people? Like, scoop them all up and throw them in a, throw them in a bad place in Minecraft, whatever. I think that you could literally Mad Lib any set of words about an opposing side from another side that's really far to the left or the right, and this isn't enlightened centrism. This is literally like you're playing Mad Libs with words and then saying that he is bad for doing the same thing that other people are doing about people that they don't like, and you're applying it to a group that it does not apply to at all. Like, no side is not guilty of this at all. It's pretty clear.
Go back fucking decades, if not centuries, of trying to malign all gay people as files and this, that, or the other. It's a tale as old as time, and your spin on it doesn't really revivify it or anything. That's not even, I don't even know if that's a word. Oh my.
Okay, sorry. So my battery and my camcorder just like completely fucking died, and I don't want to like come back like 3 hours later and do this again. Like, I'm, energized. I want to talk about this now, so I'm just gonna talk about this now in this form. This is how I'm gonna close the video in PNG tuber format. I don't know why you play this kind of like, oh, who knows? Why do people say this about me? Why do people, say that why do people think I'm a fan of this person? When it's like, I don't know. Not a very big hurdle to jump to go, well, you say these kind of things and you've liked content from this person in the past. maybe you're a fan of them. I don't know, it doesn't sound too far-fetched to me. But again, let's be charitable here and assume maybe he just didn't know. Maybe he genuinely didn't know.
Okay, well, let's be charitable when we say we're gonna be charitable. I don't think that either party has treated the other with the maximum amount of charitability that they could have, but like this discourse is entirely unproductive, and I think that's just sicking people against each other, like fan bases that realistically could unite and do good things and get the actual NSFW people off of the platform, because we're not even going to address how 18 plus is on the Roblox profile connected to, you know, the Twitter, whatever.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's gonna have like an aha moment after this and be like, oh my god, I had no idea that what I was saying is, you know, is like adjacent to the kind of rhetoric that Matt Walsh and people in the Daily Wire spew. I had no idea. Goodness me, forgive me. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's conscious of this, but maybe he's not, right? You know, who knows? And, you know, just like other accounts that you interact with. Oh, I didn't mean to rotate it, my bad. You're following people like Tucker Carlson, dude.
Iraq is a crappy place.
I don't think I follow Tucker Carlson, but once again, this is like a really weird own, because I follow people that are both like very left and very right. Like I follow Vosh, and I also follow Elon Musk. I don't even know if Elon Musk is that right, but I follow Hassan. I think I followed Hassan. I don't know. I followed Keffels for a while. Like I follow people that are both on the left and right. It's interesting to see different perspectives on issues that I find to be interesting. But if we're gonna cherry pick, you know, people that disagree with us and use that to represent somebody, once again, I feel like that's a straw man. That's not good. That is yeah, that's not
Filled
good.
with a bunch of, you know, semi-literate primitive monkeys.
You're literally following Ron Paul. Who follows Ron Paul?
Order was only restored in LA when it came time for the blacks to pick up their welfare checks.
Martin Luther King Day, hate Whitey Day.
And then you turn around and go, why do people say this about this? My brother in Christ. It's like, it's obvious. And then the fact that you would get, like, offended when I say that you're right-leaning is hilarious. But, I digress. You know, so Ruben, if, you know...
It's just weird for the stoner skater guy to be right-leaning, like, all jokes aside. Like, I don't... Ruben Sim strikes me as more of a hippie that just seems to be kind of tired of dealing with certain things than anything else, but...
Again, if you really just didn't know, you had no idea, you know, about the misinformation or things that you were saying... now you do. Now you know. Now you know. Holy shit, man. This is sad. This is just sad shit. I don't know what that Roblox lawsuit did to you, but like, yeah. I'll just leave it at that. Super fucking sad. Super fucking sad to see from you, man. On the other hand, though, he does follow Death Grip, so I kind of take back, like, everything that I said.
Okay, yeah, that was, interesting. A lot of disagreements there.